Hello and welcome to Chaotic Neutral Games. We are back with Numenera 2 weeks in a row. We've done it. We've done it.
We can all go home now.
Yes.
We're done. That's it.
24 minutes late, but that's my fault.
But we're here.
We got talking about books and I was unprepared and all sorts of nonsense. But we've all got a lot of good recommendations for books now. We'll share them if you ask later. How have your weeks been?
Pretty good.
Good. I got a new plant. His name's Leif
nice.
Erikson.
Of course.
Hey.
Yes.
Very nice.
He's
Right.
super weird. He's some sort of succulent, but he's the weirdest looking thing, and I love him. It's to replace
Cool.
my cat.
Oh.
Very similar.
They move about the same amount.
Very nice. Well, before we do some recapping, I think it's probably time to roll some credits. And welcome back. Last week, we went exploring. This is what the game's for. The game is designed so you go exploring, and you did. After crossing the bridge, the Catholith's bridge, the week before, 2 weeks ago, you had your companion Connie with you. You spent a night out in. Wow, I am very off it today. You spent a night with the camp, and in the morning picked up sticks to go, managing to convince Connie to come with you and explore the agistment, one of these doors in the stone which can be opened with a whisper from the Catholith, one which you possess. You managed to convince Matilda, the head of the Merrion family and the trading caravan you've been travelling with, to make a stop along the way for a day or so, for you to explore and possibly make a bit of money. You moved on and found this door a little ways outside, perhaps a day or so outside of Rashid. It was halfway up a big stack of rock. Halfway up? No, it was right at the top of the big stack of rock. Luckily, you've got someone who can fly. So it wasn't actually as much of a challenge as I'd hoped. It's my own fault for planning these things a long time ago. But yes, you set up some pitons on the outside and you all climbed up very safely, very carefully. You knew what you were doing because you're explorers, setting a good example for Connie, who is an aspiring explorer, shall we say.
She was good. She did well.
Yeah, you took her inside, and inside this stack of rock was tons and tons of arable land. Grazing on this arable land were some creatures, some cat-like things, these herbivorous cat-like things. It's very, very odd. Soon you found the things that were looking after them, the herders, these big metal things, long necks, spikes all over them, and they started posturing and trying to make you leave. Figuring out from the pillar by the door, you figured out where. What did you figure out? You tell me.
We found a box where there was obviously short circuited and blown the control panel.
Yes.
So we went and mended the box while fighting off the herders, until we convinced the herders that we were one of them, and then they stood down and chilled out a little bit.
Yes, there was a good use of a wall of light to protect Trenton doing his thing. We had Connie nipping out from behind Mazia to injure one of these cats so the herders would pay attention to her. Trenton with the help of Letty, not Trenton with the help of Letty, Clegy with the help of Letty was thrown onto the back of one of these herders and rodeoed it for a round or two. And Mazia with a whip just pulling them side to side like proper Toro, letting them charge and pulling them to the ground. It was all very cool. And so we're going to rejoin pretty much immediately after that fight, immediately after Trenton managed to get you all registered as herdspeople with these herders. So you are no longer a threat to these cats. Connie is breathing heavily, sat on the floor, bloody knife kind of a few feet away, as the calm kind of returns. The cats stop their panic and start to herd up again. The herders moving away. I think I described last time one of the herders going and tending to the cat that was injured. So yeah, this is the tableau you find yourself presented with. What would you like to do?
My shoes are making a noise of a dripping tap.
Great.
For almost as long as they possibly could on the spot thing. Great. So I haven't pressed anything at the control panel, have I? Oh no, I did, because I remotely activated it from where I am.
Yeah, so you've just registered everyone, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone's a herd.
Okay. Is there any way I can go into the system and find out if there's anybody or anything else other than the two herders we can see and now us that are registered?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anybody else or anything else in this land?
Yeah. Give me that role. You know you're good at it. You've got your talk to machines thing. You can do all sorts.
And I'm still patched into it as well.
You're still patched in, and you set up your talk to machines last time, so it is friendly to you.
Amazing. Just broke my chair. So I rolled a 7.
Great with machines are Trenton.
This isn't a machine, it's just a chair.
A 7 with all of your skills is good enough to kind of figure out the layout of things in here.
Yeah.
There are 3 herders.
Okay.
Each of them responsible for a herd of these cats, which the machine is calling Enyi. Seems to be referring to them as Enyi.
How do you spell that?
Enyi. So yeah, three herds of Enyi. Other than that, not much in the way of animals. There's measurements on like microbiome in the soil.
Okay.
This is active. It's definitely arable land as far as you can tell. You can also tell the other thing that was broken was the weather system. You can change the weather in here.
Oh.
You can also change the time of day because it currently seems to be stuck at night.
Oh, is it been quite dark?
It's not been dark. It's been kind of moonlit night, very kind of like bright night. But no, it's like stars above you. even though you know that the ceiling isn't actually all that far away from you. And actually, now you look up, you can see the rock wall just kind of confusingly disappears at some point. It's kind of hard to tell where it disappears, but at some point it just is night.
Fleegee's still rodeoing one of the herders, mainly to see how far this pasture goes back. And also, like, he's still suspicious that somebody must own these creatures, because they're not of the ninth world, so they must belong to somebody from somewhere, sometime, something else. So he's trying to just have a look around to see if there's anything that might indicate that.
So yeah, this herder goes back, returns to its herd. The rest of you see Fleegee disappear off into the mist on the back of this herder, and you get to a point actually where the mist on all sides, you can't see any walls at all. So yeah, there is a significant amount of space in here. It's probably going to be worth quite a lot of money. Yeah, so you find the herders as you're you find the other herd of Enyi, and as you're going through, it doesn't look like anyone else has been in here for a long time. There's no kind of tracks, there's no other machinery. All the tracks you can see are either these herders or the Enyi.
Interesting. I can't see how far it goes, like lengthwise, as in opposite the door that we came through.
You can spend time figuring it out. I'm not going to give you an actual number because it's not important. But yes, it is a significant way.
More importantly, is there anything at the other end? Is there like another doorway, or does it just end in rock?
Just ends in rock. The same kind of rock as the mesa outside. This kind of reddish rock. Connie eventually stands up and goes and gets her knife, wipes it on the ground, sheathes it and puts it in her bag. Just away. Sorry, I didn't mean to make too much trouble for you. I had an idea and maybe it wasn't the smartest.
Letty's face down on the ground. She's tired from all this flying around. She sort of like turns her head a little bit and she's like, I have stupid ideas all the time and it worked out fine. Don't worry too much about it. You did alright, kid. Oh, I'm tired.
Okay.
Zia, you alright over there? How's your bones doing? Did you get murked by one of those big boys or...
Fine. I'm fine. And she's fine. A little bit damaged, but other than that, not too bad. She's kind of cross with Connie, but she kind of understands, but still very silly. Is there anything in sort of the rock? Is it just rock all the way sort of at the edge? Is there anything interesting to look at, basically? Because I think otherwise Mizia was very excited to be here, and it is just a field. It's a big field and there are some cats, but
it's a big field and there's some cats. Other than the stuff Trenton is messing around with, not really. Letty saw the projectors up top, but in terms of stuff for salvage, it's the machine, the projectors, or the herders. There's not much else, honestly.
I've been in fields before. We can go. I'm ready.
This is a field in a cave, though. And check, what's this? I'm going to cycle through the weather settings.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're cycling, we're going to bring the camera to Fleegee in the middle of nowhere, and the weather starts going insane. Like wind blowing for a second, there's a crack of thunder, rain, hail, snow, beautiful sunshine, it's gone haywire.
Just one of everything for about 5 seconds, and then back to neutral.
He will not be happy. His skin's quite sensitive to, like rain and hail and wind. Like, he doesn't mind the sunshine, but he'll be quite knocked by the time he makes it back to you, because he's come off the herder now to do the long walk back. So.
Oh, have you taken the herder back to kind of somewhere else? Why didn't you ride the herder back?
The herder went off to go to find its herd.
Oh, I see.
You can try, but it may be slightly difficult.
I mean, I could lure a cat, but that seems harder than just getting off and walking back, to be honest.
Yeah, so
But more fun.
But imagine how cool you would look.
The next 3 weeks of the game is us domesticating these cats.
these cats are definitely already domesticated. Like, there is no question about it. But yes, Kleegi returns slightly damp and a little pissed off.
I turned
Weather
it
out
up
in
to
that mist.
full baking sun.
Oh, that's lovely. Were you fiddling with the weather controls?
Yes. Yes, it's fun, and I think I'm done with this now. And I will unhook myself once I think it's fully repaired, and we can use the console back near the door. And then just patch up the panel.
Yeah, easy enough.
Yeah.
Well, Connie, I think you did a fantastic job. I appreciate that you put yourself in danger and to help the group.
You
might
probably would have
want
been fine without me, right?
You never know with these things. Every distraction is a help, and you took a chance. You made a decision and you went with it. We can't fault that, can we? Can we, Mazia?
No.
I mean, we'd love to have you as part of the group, but I mean,
I've I've already been away longer than I said I would be. It's worth it though. I don't have much to pay you with for the whisper. I can go and get some more and pay you properly. I've got some things I can pay you with. What does
she want to pay us for?
The whisper,
the pasture.
the door.
Oh, right.
I think that would be fine. I think, though, if I might ask that you are responsible for this door, and only you, and also that you benefit the town in some way with it. Maybe a third of the pasture could be given up for them to use as they see fit. Maybe they'd like to grow some vegetables or flowers or such like.
Okay. I don't know if I can. Give me a persuasion roll.
Is it a pleasant social interaction?
I would call it
It's a
pleasant.
pleasant social. Is it
Compared
pleasant or
to
not?
the last time you chatted with her.
Well, then I'm specialised in
Indeed.
pleasant social interactions.
So we're down to
So what am I
difficulty
looking
1.
for? Oh, fine.
With
I'll
that.
just roll. How nightmarish the dice are today. Oh, it's a 15.
Ah. Okay. Do you want me to pay you with what I've got now? Is that good enough, or do you want to wait a day and?
I think, and just between you and me, we'll just take what you have. Like I say, as long as you're in charge of it and you give a piece to the township to use, I think that'll be perfectly acceptable. If you don't have shins, we wouldn't mind picking through some of the other stuff that you might have. So
Yeah, I've got some stuff. Honestly, don't really want to be carrying it. Yeah. Can we go
Let's sort it out.
can we get out of
Yeah.
here first? Jeez, yeah,
Letty,
looking uneasy
Letty,
still.
Letty yells up from the floors, and don't forget, we've got to also look out for the interest of the distinguished Marianoak Trading Company.
I haven't forgotten, Letty. I'm sure there's be plenty of stuff that we can sell that, out of that rucksack.
I'll show her how to use the controls so that she doesn't get killed
Yeah,
by the
absolutely.
herders.
Smart.
Yeah.
Luckily, you've got the controls by the door now, all fixed up.
exactly.
You've fixed the wiring. You've connected it all up. So yes, I'm assuming you're heading back out to the campfire. As yeah, so
I'll take some grass for I can't remember what the creatures that are pulling our caravan are called.
Calictor.
Paleotrix.
That's it. I'm going to take some grass for them.
Oh, nice. Just grass or like patch of dirt with grass to grow some more.
It was going to be just grass, but no, just grass is fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy enough to do. So yeah, climbing back out the door, you can see below the Marianoak family have set up their camp, and the fire's crackling nicely, and the crickets are going as you climb back down into the valley. And Matilda waves up to you as you're about halfway down. So how much are we making today?
We're just about to find out.
Is that good we're just about to find out, or bad we're just about to find out?
We're just about to find out.
Sure. She goes back to the wonderful meal that Philo's cooked, of course.
Obviously.
Has he ever cooked a subpar meal in his life?
Of course not. Of course not. It depends on whose definition of subpar. His definition,
Anyone
yes.
other than his?
No. So yes, sitting around the campfire with a lovely meal, some kind of roast fruit, mostly. No kind of fruit and nut kind of meal. As I've entirely forgotten her name, even though I've said it several times. Connie, yes, thank you. I had Caroline for some reason in my head, and then I was singing like Neil Diamond. Yes, Connie rummages around in her bag. She brings out a little kind of strong box. That's 50. And then I've got one of these. Brings out a little injector thing, which I think this is helpful. I'm not entirely sure. My friends just gave it to me a little while ago, and it's she hands it over, this little pill-like thing with a needle which comes out, injectable thing. As you look over it, it looks like something that will improve musculature.
Does it look like a cipher?
Okay.
Yes indeed. And then she brings out another thing, sorry, I'm rolling on tables. Yes, a small metallic disc about this large, very, very flat. One side is very shiny and one side is very matte. This I was told to be careful. If you put the matte side against your head, apparently it makes you feel good.
You haven't tried it.
Hands it over. I'm afraid I haven't got much more. I've got some little trinkets.
What happens if you put the shiny part to your head?
I don't know.
You haven't tried it?
No.
Mm.
I was told that I only get to use them once, and I was saving them for an important. And they're
Very disciplined, Connie. Making a fine adventurer.
Thank you. I also got this, and brings out a small metal box, about 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters, so little square box that's quite shallow. Picks up a stone, puts it in the box, closes it, opens the box, and the stone is pink. Closes the box and opens it, the stone is blue.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think you get to choose what colour, but I don't know, might be worth a few bob.
That's lovely.
Yeah, hands you the box. It seems really paltry for the amount of space, but
For the hectares of arable land
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
that will be able to feed the community of the town for many years, a whole new herd of farmable creatures for meat, protection, inaccessible to those without a password, all the repairs we've done to complicated systems.
I can
Advanced
go
technology,
and get my
water
father,
from the rain.
and it'll only be a day. I can go and get my father and pay you properly.
Well, we'll look at Matilda. If you should be saying this in front of Matilda.
Matilda's face is... We really should be moving on.
How about you draw up a contract so that when you next pass through, you can get your payment then?
George wanders off to get George and write up a contract. Connie will very happily sign it. Yeah, very good idea. Signs the
That is
contract.
miffed because it means no money now.
Does mean you get a better share of the 50 you've got now. So you'll all get 10 each, and the Merrynoak will keep 10, and they'll get whatever they get when they come back.
Connie, do you mind if we take those books you mentioned last week? Was it animal identification and like plant identification one?
Yeah. She'll again bring her bag out, and a couple of heavy tomes, very dry reference books, the kind of thing you'd be forced to memorize if you were a child being left alone in a house. It counts for education, right? Memorization of textbooks.
Yeah.
It's
Running by
certainly
right.
what I did as a
Fine.
nerdy child.
The best way to pass exams.
That's fantastic. That really is. Well, yeah. Great job. I hope you're happy with it, and I hope you get to go on to do great things because of it.
Yeah, it was an adventure. Definitely an adventure. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was wondering, I've got a whisper still. Would you like it?
Yeah, I don't have anything more to pay you.
Just take it. I've had it. I thought about it, and I can't see a use for it. So, you might as well go and get a shin from the clave and see what they say.
Yeah, thank you.
So I will whisper the whisper I had, which is the rejoice one, I believe. She says,
Okay.
if I can remember what it was.
Gonna have to go back through my notes now.
It's the one about relating to
Rejoice in the
giant.
giant's presence unless you are the scion of a thief.
Ah, yes. Gone from your mind. Okay, yeah. And can I have the points at the door?
I look at Mazia.
Do I still have it? Because I gave it to the door, didn't I?
You gave it to the door, but you now know the word.
Okay, that's fine. Then yes, I will whisper it to her.
Yes. It no longer leaves your head. You now both know it.
Ooh.
It is now no longer a whisper with a capital W.
Interesting.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do this evening before you move on?
Has Connie gone? Or is she going in the
So
morning?
Connie's staying the night because
Yeah,
traveling
this
at
is
night. But yeah, she'll be going back tomorrow and meet some people on the way. You're not too far outside of town.
No, I can't think of anything particular
Okay.
other than divvying up the goods.
Okay. So we're going to jump ahead. We're going to be on the road. This is perhaps weeks ahead. This is perhaps... It's probably a few days ahead. You're out of the mesa and onto the plains. And the cart itself floating the three of them as they always do. And I'd like you to tell me what you're doing on the trip. We're going to montage this because we are skipping 2 or 3 weeks. You will be stopping in Yoshul, so if there's anything you'd like from a town, that will be doable. But yeah, I want each of you to give me a scene.
Okay. Mazia is been spent most of the time trying to practice focusing her sunbeams, because in the past when she's used them, they're a very bright light, but they're sort of, it's like a sort of single, it's like a globe almost, and it is very, very bright, but it's not. It's a giant area, but she's sort of like sitting, probably, I sort of imagine her sort of sitting cross-legged on top of one of the wagons, and picking a point in the sort of in shortish range that on just the occasional plant or something or a rock, and she's trying to focus her light into a beam to zap at it, and possibly when she's not destroying plants, she's probably collecting some plants. She's interested in how the sort of flora is sort of changing as we're traveling. This isn't somewhere that obviously it's not somewhere she's been before, and so she is actually, as she's been going along, she's probably making like detailed notes, and she's got a little map going along. Oh, she's probably editing one of what is the Alia, thank you. Editing one of hers and just sort of making notes as we go. But yeah, practicing with her little sunbeams.
How successful are the sunbeams?
They are, as the weeks go on, it starts off not very successful, and she, you can see the plants are initially really happy that they've been getting this, just a whole big old bunch of sunlight, which is great for them. But as after a sort of week or so, she can get it. She gets her first sort of smolder as she manages to sort of concentrate this beam of light into something more concentrated, and there's a little plant, and there's like a little whisper of smoke that sort of goes up from it as she sort of, and as it goes on, she actually manages to set something on fire.
Hey, nice. So yeah, a montage of Mazia getting better and better at focusing the sun, improving her skills, interspersed with her and Alia working on sketches of these plants, matching them up in the book Connie gave you, finding the what they are and how they've changed. Yeah, lovely. Anyone else?
I will be when I'm not reading a very dog-eared book that I've carried around with me. Then I am I'm tinkering with my implants, and getting them to absorb the sunlight as much heat as possible, and possibly getting Nazir to.
I was going to say I could definitely help you out with that.
Eventually, once I've tinkered it enough, I get you to actually fire a blast of sunlight at me, and I've been practicing absorbing it, just so that I can absorb the energy. If there's a lightning storm at any point as well, I will try and rig up a lightning conductor and try and absorb that lightning energy as well. And yeah, changing the settings on mainly the wrist devices and changing the plugs in my various implants so that I can absorb energy. Obviously, during the process, I get possibly a little bit charred. My hat probably loses its feather. I know my coat might be a little bit singed. My hair will be really big, like really, really big. But eventually I get it. I'm quite happy with this. And otherwise, I will be going around. This is over about 2 or 3 weeks. Quite casually taking fingerprints as much as I possibly can from all the different wagons, just hanging out, finding excuses to read my book on their wagon. Then when they're not looking, just taking a few fingerprints, using a bit of, I don't know. I would have tried different things and worked out a way of getting fingerprints.
Okay.
Probably with a solvent and some what's the paper called here?
It would just be paper. Might be made of synth, might be made of wood pulp, but yeah.
Yeah.
I have this idea that you see Trenton sort of come up to Mazia, and he's like, "Oh, could you send us some energy at me?" And you sort of like the camera just pans around to see this plant sort of smouldering away, and Mazia just looks at Trenton
and dial it down from that a little bit.
Yeah, Mazia looks at Trenton. And then you just see her eyes flick to wherever Kleegi is to make sure Kleegi isn't watching. And as long as Kleegi is not there, she's like, "Oh yeah, sure.
I'm ready.
Right there, yeah."
I'm ready. Ow! Okay, give me a day. We'll try it again. I'm nearly there. Ow! Water.
We get the split shot, one side of Mazir, sunlight at a plant, pan, sunlight at Trenton. Like a weird training montage. Trenton, yes, you wanted to collect some fingerprints. I would like you to roll some kind of stealth. Just a speed.
Got nothing that can help me there, but I will try my best to be as sneaky as I can, so I will put a level of effort in this.
Okay.
And I roll a 14.
Okay.
Just bringing my speed thing down to 3 points. Yep, so I roll a 14, and I've put a level of effort in.
Nobody catches you, and you don't mislabel any of the prints. You identify who all these prints are from. And so, yeah, matching it up to one of the oddities that had broken, one of these recording oddities that had broken. The fingerprint is Merrin's.
That's the boy.
Yeah.
Okay. What have I got? Interesting. Did we get those, the ciphers and I guess the oddity from Connie? Did she give those to us?
Yeah.
She didn't give you the broken. So the one with the fingerprint on that isn't working came from Noru.
Yeah. So I want to see if Merrin breaks Odyssey's by touching them. Is not Odyssey's ciphers by touching them. So I'm
Right.
trying to find something that I've got that's disposable. Another than the healing dagger, which I can't wait to stab someone with. I don't know if I have anything that can do. I mean, it could break my shoes,
No, you can't.
but I don't really want him to do that. Okay, I'll bear
I've
that in
got
mind
a-
for
okay.
now.
I was gonna say I've got a cipher that I have no idea how I'm gonna use, but I know it's absolutely ludicrous cipher, so I'm torn on whether or not to get rid of it and try and get a new cipher or just keep it.
Well, I'll discuss my theory. But one night, if we've got some time, I'll say, I found out who the fingerprints are on the broken Odysseys. Thank you. Good sound change. They're Merrin's. Do you think he purposely or even accidentally, without even knowing, has some kind of power to break things and take the energy from ciphers?
Is it not just he's just a clumsy child?
It could be that he just drops things, but I don't know. I'd kind of like to give him a cipher and find out if it stops working when he touches it.
I've got a couple in the bag, but I mean,
Do you have anything that's truly useless, but it is obvious when it's?
I
Not
have. She sort of pats around and she pulls out a lightning wall projector and a tube of essence transfer. And I think, and in the bag is, and she sort of pauses to think back what she's got in there. I've got a heat vision lens, a knife, but a fun, cool knife that is powerful, and a gravity nodule.
These all sound quite useful.
How about I talk to Matilda about Merrin, maybe get a bit of background, and when we stop at Yoshua, maybe we can pick up a cheap cipher or something
Yeah.
there, and rather than waste something that could be potentially useful.
I like that idea. And I'm going to watch Merrin, like not like that closely, but if he goes near anything that's maybe electrical, I'm just going to kind of see if he does anything.
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Other than that, I'm going to eat Pat Jerky
Absolutely.
and read my book.
Lovely. So, did you want to chat with Matilda now?
Yeah, sure. I'll do my montage now, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay. Before we got to where Trenton is, I would have spent some time chatting to Nimchat, not about anything in particular, but just like trying to befriend him. I remember a little bit, not the whisper, but I remember that he's somebody who's hurting who could probably do with a friend, basically. So I'm going to work on sort of chatting with him and trying to be more of a friend and
Sure.
sort of trying to get him to open up a bit more.
He's a lot more closed off than when you first met him. He's definitely retreated into his shell a bit more. They'll chat quite happily, but yeah, give me a roll and see how well you pull them out of their shell, make friends with them.
Yes, and social interaction.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You're specifically avoiding all of the pain points, I presume.
Yeah, no, it really is just to try and create some sort of bond with him. 12.
Yeah, with your skills, yeah. So yeah, you chat about pleasant things. You chat about Nimchek's experiences on the road, carefully avoiding details. They are quite happy to chat about like the inside of the clock, things they saw in there. Further into Orgakala, the actual kind of land in there. Beautiful, strange things that they're describing. He's got away with words that Ed doesn't. Yeah, they seem to be mostly kind of mental at the moment. They're not using much brawn, other than to walk. So, yeah, every time you start a conversation, you can see they're pondering.
Yeah. I think one of the things I'd be asking is like, what are you sort of enjoying about this bit of the journey? You know, what do you do to sort of, you know, relax while we're traveling, or what are you looking out for when you move along?
I do like people, but I do enjoy the solitude. It is. And sorry, that was not meant to be a.
It's fine.
I'm
trust
sorry,
me.
that came out badly.
We all need a break from people at some point, and my eyes just flicked to Mazia.
Firing a laser beam at Trenton.
Solitude as in not in a town, not in... See, I talk to you because I want to. I talk to these people because I want to. I don't talk to you all because I am doing business with you, or I need... Or at least I'm not at the moment. We got all that squared away earlier. You know, it is movement, and there is a purpose, but it's a long way off. It is a break, a gap, a breath in my life, which I didn't have much until now.
It's very profound.
I don't know what to say to that. I would not call myself profound, I just live a life.
That will make Clegy think back about his life and possibly realise the same thing, that he's not really had a breath as such. And although this may not be so much of a breath, but it's still something. It's certainly much different to how he's, you know, how he's brought up and what happened as a child. So, and then yes, I'll talk to Matilda one night. I'll make sure Philo's made a very good meal.
Of course.
Of course, a buttering up sort of meal.
Yes, there's not much in the way of hunting though. So you're about a week in, so you're on some of the drier rations. The fresh stuff is not quite as nice. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. It still tastes great, but it's maybe a little chewier than Philo's earlier meals were.
I know it'll improve, don't worry.
We should have brought any.
You had the option.
Yeah, I know. Just thought of
that. So, how long have you been travelling, you and George?
Me and George, or me?
Both of you. And you.
So I've been travelling a lot longer than George has.
All right.
My first husband, their parents, kind of waves at Alia and Aldo. We were married, and these were our caravans, and we've been travelling our whole life. My parents did this, so honestly, I've never settled down anywhere. Met my husband on the road. He was also a traveller, and he was a good man, but passed away a little while ago. Met George shortly after. George was the opposite. Very much my opposite. I've been travelling... Well, George has been with us for 10 years or so. So the kids, they think of him as a dad, but he's not. It's difficult at that age, like 10 or 11, and like, yeah, it's difficult. But we get along. So I've been going my whole life. The kids have been going their whole life, and George has been going for 10 years.
Wow. And Merrin?
Merrin's only been with us about a couple of years, actually. We met him. He was stealing food on the street, and
Is he
stole
still from you?
Well, yeah, we have the best food, so of course he did.
Obviously.
But yeah, no, Alia took a shine to him, and he didn't have any parents. He didn't have any prospects really, so we can take one more, and it's nice for George, honestly. I love Merrin very much, don't get me wrong, but George loves that kid. And yeah, Alia gets on very well. Yeah, no, it's been a little while.
But you don't know anything about his background or anything, you just found him on the streets?
Yeah. I don't really know anything about him, honestly. He's deaf, so not really vocal. So we've been trying to. Well, it's been a couple of years, and Alia's best at it, but the rest of us are picking it up slowly.
It's very nice to take on a young man and show him a way in the world, give him a purpose.
It felt like the least we could do, honestly. We'd been, making money hand over fist. And what had we done with it? We'd bought more stuff to make more money. We'd bought another cart. We'd bought, these to make them float. It was all just making money for money's sake, so I don't know, felt good to do something else.
No. Commendable. Definitely commendable. You have a lovely family.
Thank you very much. We do all right for ourselves. Smiling over at the kids in the campfire, roasting something on a stick. Yeah, a nice pastoral scene. Pastoral? That's probably not the right word. Calm scene.
That's right.
Scene. Fair enough. Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
No, not at this stage. Thank you. And then when I'm not doing chatting to people, I will be trying to craft out of some of the Numenera.
Ooh, yes.
Some of the odds and sods that have been lying around, like, the broken recorders and such like.
Yeah, let's see if we can cobble something together from the broken bits.
Right, what do we need? Forgotten.
I need an idea of what you want to craft. Kind of an area, like.
You'd be welcome to use my tools, obviously, if you need them.
Yeah, can Trenton actually help me with crafting?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be happy to.
I've completely forgotten how to do it. So, I guess it would be hopefully something sort of electrical, mechanical. So not injectors or anything like that. Can't see how we'd make any sort of infusions or anything. Yeah. So,
what kind of effect are you looking for? Is my question. The form factor we know is going to be some little object, like a ball of metal with electronics inside.
I don't know, so either something, maybe something sound related, or something. Just trying to think, or maybe even like another sort of power source. I know Trenton had made a power source for some of the ciphers, one of the ciphers, but whether we can do something like that again to.
I think that'd be possible. You can either try and fix this recorder thing, or you think you can use it to collect power from something less useful and recharge a cipher that's already been expended.
Yeah, you don't have that still, do you, Trenton? Done it.
No, I used it.
Yeah. We'll try the power thing, I think.
Absolutely. So I'm going to call this a level 3 thing, which means you need to roll a level 3, a level 2, and a level 1 task on multiple days. So, first of all, you need to do a level 3 crafting task.
Okay, I'm specialised in crafting Numenera, so...
Oh, so you only need to make the one roll.
17.
17. It still takes you the 3 days. Just the other 2 days, you know exactly what you're doing. The first day is experimental. You're picking apart this, figuring out what all the bits do, where the power source is, how the power gets delivered around it, picking apart a few other bits and pieces, and recombining. And on the third day of putting this thing back together, what does it look like?
So it's still going to have that form of the sort of tape recorder audio device. I'm thinking like a dictaphone type tape recorder for some reason, but anyway. So still have that form, but it will have probably some sort of metallic outcrop that will sort of absorb the power from something else, plug into something else
some contacts.
In some way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of USB-esque. One end has contacts, which you take the power out and then you put it into something else and it charges it up.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, USB, very good. Yeah, like that.
So yes, level 3 cipher.
Thank you.
So yeah, add it to your list.
Thank you.
Basically, you're gonna have to roll if you want to take power out of or charge up something that's above a level 3.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Is there anything else in your montage?
No, I think that's enough.
Okay. Letty.
Till I find out what Letty does.
Letty spends the days relaxing. She's got like a little tether, so every like she likes to sort of float above, sort of at like let it extend in whatever direction, sort of hang there, watching whatever's going on. Generally like watching like Mazir and Trenton doing their bullshit. Just having a nice time.
Very scientific and important research.
Yeah, and she's just sort of chilling during the daytime, much like a cat basking in the sun. And over the afternoon, she likes to, because she grew up as part of this like bandit raided group, but there were a lot of kids there, so she's quite good with kids, I think. So she's taken to sort of teaching them like card games and how to cheat at card games. And it sort of ties in with like, as she realizes she's got to keep a closer eye. We're keeping a closer eye on Merrin. She makes sure that Merrin's included as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to pick up a bit of sign language if she can from Alia and Aldo.
So Merrin can also read lips, but
yeah. Just trying to be inclusive, I think, in a way. Because there were all sorts of kids back in Ishlav when she was younger. Like when you're on the streets, like all sorts of kids end up like together that wouldn't ordinarily be. And she's also pondering the whisper she's got. And she's also completely oblivious of whatever's going on with her eye. Because no one has told her yet.
Yeah, absolutely. What whisper have you got? What's the word of the whisper that you know?
Golden. I know golden.
So, basically, this is going... If you're going to keep the whisper the whole time, I'm not going to ask for a roll because you'll just get it eventually. You've got many days of kind of pondering on it. Golden. Golden. Actually, roll and see how long it takes you.
Okay.
Well, we'll see like how far into the journey it is. How frustrated you get.
Understanding Numenera probably doesn't help here.
It does.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yes, in this particular case.
Okay. Oh, and I get a free level of intellect effort because I'll take a level of effort because I've got 3 edge. I got a 6.
Okay. So it takes you better part of half a week 3-4 days to crack it. A Never Jin's deal is golden. A Never Jin is a creature. Kind of stories told about these things live deep isolation, away from everything. Know a lot, collect information, and a Never Jin's deal is golden. If you do a deal with them, they will hold to it.
Interesting. I like that. I like to know. I like to know who I can get stuff out of.
There are a couple of moments on the journey for you, particularly Letty, where you just find your mind wandering. And you just kind of zone out a bit. And you kind of come back to, and you've walked a little bit away from camp. And you're just kind of staring out into the distance. So you head back to camp. Everyone else does spot this. But it's not unusual because
Vizia does not spot this.
Nimchek does something similar in the evenings. Sits and looks at the plains.
Isn't that his rearranging though when he does that?
Sometimes. If they need to rearrange, they will. But also, they're just taking time for themselves. And thinking and silence of the plains. The plains are getting a little less solid now. They're starting to get a bit sandy and a bit dusty. Kind of making way into desert. I will say there is one whisper we haven't solved. Yes, Trenton.
So all I have is name.
Name.
That was the second word, and I didn't understand the rest.
Indeed.
So, yeah, I will have been pondering it.
Yeah.
I think this the first. Oh no, I did because I solved Connie's as well. So I kind
Yes.
of okay.
Yeah, so give me a roll and we'll see how long it takes you.
That is just a 5.
A 5. So yeah, it takes you a little longer than Letty. Because you don't have any skills that are particularly relevant for this.
This is a bit too abstract for me.
Yes. And you realise why it didn't click with you, because you haven't heard of this before.
Okay.
The name is Keprin of the Axtaran.
Keprin of the Axtaran.
Yes. This is a secret. A deep secret that not many people know.
Ooh.
This is the name of a godlike entity?
Okay.
Yeah, this, it doesn't really... This whisper, unlike all the others, doesn't give you the whole picture. It gives you kind of the edges. You see kind of a silhouette of the information this godlike creature named Keprin.
Okay.
Not much more than that, honestly. It's weird.
alright.
It's different to all the other whispers.
Okay, I probably won't do anything with that at the moment.
Okay,
Just because me, Danny, can't think of anything to do with it at the moment.
fair enough.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so...
I have to, before you move on, I just have one more question.
Yep.
Just to clarify the fingerprints thing.
Yes.
I'd previously written down that I had 3 different fingerprints. Is that wrong? I got 3 different fingerprints from humans. Maybe there was just one set of fingerprints. Maybe it was just one repeating set of fingerprints.
I don't remember.
You had taken our fingerprints I think that's what you're referring to.
Maybe that's what I'd written down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I only remember
you've
there being
taken
one
our
fingerprint
fingerprints.
on the thing
Okay,
because it was
that's good.
slightly like a patina almost on the fingerprint, more so than
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
normal greasy fingerprint.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I'm tempted to spend some XP to be able to sort of talk to Merrin with sign language so that Merrin can talk back a little bit, because Merrin's mute, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would that be a 4 XP for a skill? As in sign?
No. We would call this because this is a very like a more specialized skill. I would call this 2 XP.
Okay, so 2 XP to be able to talk back and forth with Merrin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So that takes me down to 4. I'll put that as a skill of private language with Merrin, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sign language with Merrin. I think this is using some stuff that they or like somewhere between her learning some things from the other kids and also being taught thief language for heists, like you know.
Yeah. So yeah, in fact, because you've spent the experience, Merrin's sign language is unfamiliar to you as like a truth sign language, because there are sign languages around. But yeah, it's not entirely different to truth sign language, but it is very, what's the word? It's like it's a different dialect, like a heavy dialect. So learnt somewhere else, definitely.
Cool.
Okay, so the caravan wears on as the plains turn into desert, and as on the horizon the town of Yoshul presents itself, rushing up to meet you, and then receding away from you as night by night camps join and leave. This whole town is made of tents. It is a kind of central point for nomads, where they can stop, trade, get water. Right in the center there is a fountain. I'm afraid I don't have a soundscape for this one because I'm unprepared, but we weren't spending much time here anyway, as you spend a night or two there, stocking back up on food and water. Matilda sends you out for a few bits and pieces to sell, and when you come back they've filled their caravan back up to the top, as much as possible in to sell. Is there anything you'd like to get from Yoshul, from town?
Did we want to have a look for a sort of cheap level 1, not particularly useful cipher?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, easy enough to find, like almost oddities ciphers. Like they don't do much for a couple of shins. Yeah, very, very easy to deal with.
I will buy that.
By the way, add 10 shins, all of you, for
Oh,
Connie's.
yes.
27 shins.
27.
That's so much money.
Can Mazia also look for go to a tailor's or somewhere and get some sort of just offcuts of fabric, of various types of, she just wants sort of scraps of, squares sort of that size or bigger.
Yeah.
She's aware that, we've been in some scrapes and, she's been like sewing like things closed, but it would be good to actually have some patches, and she's running out of pockets, so she wants to add like a couple of pockets sort of on the inside of her cape as well.
Never have enough.
Easy enough to do. There's a whole area of the city where the fabric merchants kind of camp up, and it's the most beautifully colourful bit of all the tents are made from wonderful materials, treated to be like strong as canvas. I mean, weird synths, all sorts of stuff. Easy enough for you to pick up fabric swatches, like a shin if you want like a stack of them.
Great. And can she also please see if she can buy a feather? And one night she's going to try and replace the feather in Danny's hat without him noticing. Just
without me noticing. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The weird thing about shins is like one shin is like a night and a meal, so it's doesn't really break down further than that. So we'll say you get the feather with the fabric swatches. Yeah, yeah.
That's a good haberdashery.
Yeah.
It is a kind of quite a long, thin feather, almost peacock-like in that it's got the bulb on the end, but it doesn't have the fronds at the sides. So it's a very thin feather than a bulbous end. It's very odd.
That's perfect. Slightly weird. I love it. And yeah, so it's part, just because she wants to do something nice, and part sort of an apology for burning him multiple times.
I definitely asked for it.
But yeah, one evening when sort of he's gone to bed or something, she'll just find his hat and sew it, or sort of fix it on, so that when he wakes up in the morning, he's got a fun new feather.
Over the moon. I run around trying to figure out who did it. I might figure out, but unless someone says anything, then I won't, directly say anything. But I'll announce my thanks.
She would have been very careful, though, knowing that you've got her fingerprints. She'll be very careful to avoid blocks.
I would quite like to. I think we can probably afford to get a couple of ciphers and some oddities, stuff that I can sort of craft and carry on with my crafting.
Oh yeah.
For the next bit of the journey, and also it's anywhere that would sell books.
There might be a few places here and there. You might get lucky.
I'm sort of looking. He's looking for a book on sort of the peoples of the Ninth World. So Merrin sort of intrigued him, and he's not sure whether he's wondering whether like the death and muteness is it because of a condition, or is it because of something genetic that maybe he's not quite human.
A mutation of some sort.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines. So so he's looking for a book on like the peoples of the Ninth World. Would sort of that make sense?
Yeah. Let's. Yeah,
especially this around this area at least.
Yeah, so you can find one. It is written by a steadfast explorer, which means that it uses the word exotic quite a lot. It's
right.
Perhaps a little reductive in places, but a shin for that.
Okay.
Yeah, you flick through and it, as kind of a broad introduction, it's fine, but you won't get any good fine details.
Okay.
But yeah, you learn about the people of the Beyond. The history mostly is that they came from the Steadfast, and a lot of them broke off and went to the Beyond to live by themselves. Whether that was a very long time ago or more recently, there are still people making that exodus. So a lot of the peoples round here are kind of common ancestors from the Steadfast. It also talks about the Torment, which is just the other side of the clock, where there's a lot of sentient plant life around that area, as I remember it. I'm trying to remember what I read when I read through these books now. But there's some very, very cool places in Numenera.
Okay.
I've got a full atlas, so.
And how much will it be for the ciphers and oddities, please?
So if you want to keep yourself crafting, drop 10 shins, and that'll keep you crafting until you go to another place.
Okay.
So do you want to know what these ciphers do, or are they parts? Specifically parts?
All right. Is there anything that's particularly exciting cipher-wise?
I'm going to be rolling off a table, so I can't tell
Oh,
you
okay.
specifically.
Well, and parts will be fine, I think. Let's
Okay.
just make them for crafting.
Sure, yeah. Bits of broken ciphers and oddities that don't really do anything interesting. Useful things you can cobble together into ciphers and stuff as you go. Okay. Anything else in Yoshul?
Letty has. There are two things that Letty would like to do in Yoshul. The first one is she's taken that box that changes things colours, and she spent a good part of the morning running a shell game, a really showy shell game, in the middle of the concourse with her magic, with like her gravity powers, making it like a big show. People like trying to get people to line up because they know it's a con, but it's a fun con.
Yeah.
So people hoping that people spend money on it. And like making a big show of this box that changes the color for every like thing. At one point, she runs 3 shell games at the same time with her hedge magic.
Yeah, give me a performance roll of some kind. See how well you do.
Cool. I've got deception and misdirection, so that's 1 level, and then I'm going to put 2 levels of effort into this because she wants to have a good
Absolutely.
time.
So add 9 to your roll, and we'll convert that to levels and see how well
Okay.
that goes.
20.
Oh,
I think you make a good 10 shins doing this.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Little bits and pieces here and there, but over the course of a couple of days. With the spectacle, you've actually started to draw a bit of a crowd. So the first day was just the people passing by, but now there are people who've taken the trip to see your show, your games play, and watch the colour change and the move through the air. Rounds of applause every time someone loses.
That increased the Merrianote trading. Because presumably she's drawing people to the area, and presumably they're trading.
Letty, have you been pointing people at the Merrianoaks?
I think probably.
Okay.
I think on day 1 she wasn't, and then I think Matilda and Cleege probably cornered her on her way back. Or George very excitedly came up and started talking about like income, revenue, and profit margins. All right.
Aldo definitely gave you a couple of hard looks from the stall as you were going.
how obvious is that there is something in Letty's eye?
There isn't.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Good.
But there isn't at all anymore.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's
Oh, she's fine.
hasn't been for a while actually.
Okay.
Oh, good.
We're all good.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
Everything's
So
fine.
a little bit more convincingly, I'm just saying.
The other thing that she would like to do is spend a few of those shins on a nice piece of jewelry from a little jewelry place, and also maybe while she's trying stuff on, grab a couple of extra pieces of jewelry that shouldn't really be going into her pockets.
5 shins and a roll, please.
Okay. I get this is hedge magic misdirection, and another 2 levels of effort. I think
Yep.
I've spent.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 20 again. Holy shit.
Amazing.
Are you kidding? I'm having a great time in Yoshul.
Yeah.
Oh my
This,
god.
this is your kind
You're
of
never
city.
gonna leave.
Well, this is why it's your kind of city, because you're going to leave. You can take risks.
That's very true.
Some of these people will leave tonight and you'll never see them again. It's such a like transitive city. I think that's the right word. People moving in and out and moving around, and it's changing all the time. You're filling your pockets. You know what? One of these does actually happen to be a cipher.
Yes.
Because I mean, a natural 20, you've got to do something for it.
Yeah.
Especially two in a
God.
row.
Jesus.
Okay, I want you to roll a d20 for me.
18.
And then
I
a
thought it was gonna be another
d100.
20 for a second. I can roll 2 d10s for that, right?
Yep.
For percentile.
One's the 10s, one's the ones.
You my 10. Yes. So we've got 30. 30.
30. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Sparkle. It's a necklace that can cause 1d6 glowing lights to shoot out, travel a long distance, and then blind anyone in immediate radius for a minute.
Good kind of cipher.
That's a good cipher.
That's a very good cipher. Plus a couple of other nice bits of jewellery, bracelets and rings and things that can slip into pockets quietly and easily.
Assortment of jewellery.
Actually, and I will say a pocket watch with all the
Yes.
fine gears. Very, very rare, quite expensive. Natural 20. You've just been filling your pockets. This is your your place.
Does it have a picture on the inside? Does it have a picture
a
of
little
like
cameo.
someone's... Yeah, exactly.
No, it does have an engraving though. Time is money, here's both. Entirely stolen, but it's great. I love it. It's my favourite engraving I've heard of on a watch.
That's great.
So a very successful stay in your jewel for Letty.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think everybody gets a bracelet.
These varied designs
So
and
generous.
varied stones set in them. Mostly metal, actually, more so than synth. Yeah, they look good.
Amazing. So generous. You've really splashed out here.
Well, I had to spend my earnings somehow, and spending it on you guys seemed like the right thing to do.
Oh, stop it.
Proper scoundrel.
There are two things I'd like to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
One is, I've been thinking for a while now about upgrading my dart thrower weapon, just because, yeah, we've run into a few scrapes,
Yeah.
and I'd just like to be able to make it fire a lot faster than it currently does,
Okay.
and stock up on darts. And yeah, I want to buy tools and parts if I can that will allow me to and you tell me whether I can do this, because there isn't like a super dart thrower in the list of weapons, but I basically would like to attempt to upgrade it and put some kind of magazine on it so it can go a machine dart thrower effectively.
Okay.
Fires like 2 or 3 darts per turn.
Something
rather than
like
just
that.
the one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's possible. I think that's very possible.
And if you want to maybe take ages to do this and then you can think about it between sessions, that's absolutely cool.
I'm going to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to take you a little while to do, but yeah, if
But I'll
you
buy the stuff for it here.
yeah, drop. You know what? There's a crank crossbow.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll use those stats.
Okay, perfect.
We'll do the difference, which is 3 shins difference, so 3 shins apart, and time, and we'll figure it out in between sessions.
Excellent. And then the only other thing I want to do is go shopping for a cipher, but instead of quite a few little ones, I want to find the biggest, best, highest level one I can. And I have 15 shins to spend, and I'm happy to spend them all.
Oh,
on a single one if I need to.
blimey. That sounds like you'd be looking more for an artifact than a cipher.
Yes, indeed. An artifact to be even better.
What kind of thing are you looking for?
Defensive.
Defensive.
Yeah, if there's some kind of like wider a shield that could maybe surround us all or something like that. Some kind of some kind of defensive wall.
Yeah. I would like you to roll me something for this. Some
Okay.
kind of...
I understand Numenera. I do have a skilled in understanding Numenera.
Okay, I'll give you that.
If
We're
you
going to be
want if
counting
you want
up
any
again.
help,
Yeah,
I can help you sort of, I know what to look for in a cipher.
Yeah, totally.
If you want.
Let's go shopping.
Can I assist with my finding Numenera
Yeah.
and also visual perception? I know what I don't know.
I'm
that might
going to
not
say
help,
no to the
'cause-
visual perception.
Yeah, because ciphers always look. Who knows what a cipher's going to
Can
be?
I give some good advice based on my crafting Numenera still,
What a team.
please?
Okay. I think that's the last bit I'm going to add, though. So add a 9 to this roll, and we'll calculate what levels from it.
16.
16.
25.
25.
Yeah.
So we divide that by 3. So it would be a 24, so it would be an 8. It would be a level 8. You'd find.
Wow.
Nice.
I can't use that, can I, currently, though?
Yeah, you can.
Because... Okay.
Yeah, you absolutely can. You find... How nice am I going to be?
Very.
Yep. You find a globe projector. It's a short device with a narrow synth tube that flares at the end like a trumpet almost. The person selling it demonstrates it. It fires a glittering orb at the target, which, upon striking the target, expands and completely envelops them. They are protected from anything, but also anything level 8 or lower, but also can't attack anything out of that. The barrier is real. The barrier is between them, so it's protects them, but also protects everyone else from them.
So it's like a stasis.
Yeah, not so much stasis because they're still there and they can still try and break out, but it is a level 8, so very difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How long does that last for?
depletion is 1 in d6, and the effect lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, great.
So you could use it to protect someone or to trap something in
Precisely.
there. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes where you make a quick exit. That sounds pretty
So not exactly what you asked for, because
Huh?
you don't get what you asked for.
That's great. That's highly unusual, high level. Love it.
Yeah, so yeah, you are dropping a significant amount of cash on this.
Yeah. So would 15 cover that?
15.
Yeah.
15 and a cipher would cover it.
I can give
It's
them my
cash.
No, I can just give them my deception filter, an ingestible liquid, where the user cannot knowingly tell a lie for 1 hour. Might be very handy for a shopkeeper.
Yeah? Yeah, they will
know
very
why.
happily take that.
Okay. Plus 15. There you go. Done.
Wonderful stuff. Okay, I have just realised we're almost at 10 o'clock, so we should probably take a break. And and when we come back, we will end up at Numenera. So come back in 10 minutes or so. We'll see you in a bit.
Good. Cool. See ya.
And we're back. We were in Yoshul, and we shall continue in Yoshul, because there are a couple of things we wanted to do which we didn't, so we will finish those off before we head on and time skip to Numenera. So, I think actually probably at this point people are packing up, getting ready to leave, so if there's any kind of last minute things you want to do in the town before you head off.
I would have, apart from sending him out, obviously, to get delicious food, I would have asked Philo to put his ear to the ground about, journey ahead and specifically Numenera, and what might be happening there, any news or anything.
So yes, the stuff you get about Numenera, because Numenera's making its trip. It doesn't happen all that often. It takes them about 20 years to do the whole cycle, because Numenera follows the Dream Titans, these huge things that move through the desert, leaving behind a trail. And Numenera is a whole town which is designed to be packed up and moved when the Dream Titans move. They follow behind, and when the Dream Titans stop, they unpack their town. They stay there for a year or two.
Do the Dream Titans move?
So the Dream Titans move every year or two. They move slowly and for about a year. So, yeah, there's usually a bit of lag between like the Dream Titans moving and the people following, but yeah, they do a very, very large loop around the desert. I just realised I said they moved for about a year. They moved for about a month. Sorry.
Okay.
They move every 1 or 2 years for about a month. Slowly making the same pattern, which it takes them about 20 years to complete. Yeah, they're very insular, Numenera. They've got a... They're not... They don't take too kindly to visitors. And they kind of worship the Dream Titans, you gather, for some reason or another. If you recall, Matilda said that the thing the Dream Titans secrete is very valuable and can be sold for a lot of money in the Steadfast.
Do we know anything about the Dream Titans other than that whatever they secrete is very valuable?
Not really. Nobody really knows anything about them because you're not allowed to get close to them. If you get close to them, the Numenera kind of militia will come and stop you.
Okay, that makes you nervous.
Seems
Well.
like a fun challenge.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, I know what we're going to be doing then.
I mean, there's a reason Matilda's timing it, so getting it while they're moving.
Ah, I see. And like, can anybody pick up the secretions? That sounds so wrong.
Yeah.
I guess the Underans are protected against them so that they have the monopoly of discretions.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
So you just have to get there first. That's fine.
And do you feel I find out about any useful important person in town, or somebody who might be a good liaison for us, or was he not that useful?
Let me check notes. And when I say notes, I mean book.
Notebook.
No. Numenera
notes?
Destiny. Night Speakers. There we are. The Night Speakers are the leaders of the town. They're probably not actually the best to talk to, Philo kind of relays. But you might be able to catch a few of them. There is a council, and there is a High Elder. A High Elder Charissa. Charisa. Yeah, she kind of leads the town, but the Night Speakers deal with the Dream Titans and the Elixir.
I'm guessing they're not particularly friendly to outsiders either.
Nobody really knows, which probably means they're not very friendly to outsiders.
Extremely not friendly to outsiders.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Philo's so useful.
Yes, Philo very much is. I am not doing the accent today because it's
Aw.
Monday. I've been scattered all like. I did the thing on Saturday and then I just kind of bleh for the rest of the time. I used all of my brain power on Saturday. Anyway. Yes, the next morning the camp packs up, and you say goodbye to the friends you've made in Yoshul, and very carefully don't make eye contact with the enemies you've made in Yoshul, and very quickly take your leave. It's about another 2 weeks until you get to Numenera, so plenty more time on the road. So
Yay.
yes, there are a couple of things I believe you wanted to do on the road, and then we will try and get to Numenera. See if we can get to it by the end of this session.
So there you can go. Okay. I'm going to take the cheap throwaway cipher of undetermined usefulness. And when Marin's just kind of running around playing, if we've stopped, maybe at night when we've stopped somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll take out my tools and I'll just look like I'm kind of tinkering with it. And if as he comes near, I'll try and I'll get his attention. Marin, I don't need to do that because he's mute. Okay, yeah. I'll get his attention. Marin, could you just do me a favor? Can you just hold this here while I screw this bit, please?
Yes, this cipher you've got is a plate of transparent synth, which you can set, and when you move it, it then stays with the image that you were looking through it. So it's
Oh, that's quite cool.
yeah, it's
That's
a way to
Followers.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh no, now I want this. Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Thing is, you can recharge it. You know how to make that thing to recharge it. So,
Sweet.
um,
Great. So
yeah, Merrin will very happily hold it for you.
great. And I will just I'll move it around a little bit and then I'll take it back from them. Thank you very much, Marin. It's very useful. I won't give him a pat on the head. It's too patronizing. I don't need to do that. Great. And then as he runs off,
Bugger off.
does it still work?
It does not, and there are fingerprints on it. This same patterner.
He's got.
Wait, doesn't it work, Trenton?
I'll share the fingerprints. It seems that everything he touches, I don't know what he does. He just.
Are the wires rotted again, or?
I don't know, but it was working until he touched it. I can try and figure out how it's broken, but I'll wager that it's started to corrode again. I don't know if it's here. I don't think he knows he's doing it. It's definitely Mary. I don't know if it's the oils in his hands or if it's something deeper within him, some kind of power, but he's definitely no idea that he's doing this.
You able to test the oils at all? I mean,
I'm not really. I can try. I'm not really a chemist. I don't think I really know how to do that, but
There's nothing in any of your books that you've been reading about people who can break things just by touching them?
Professor Dr. Roberta Bobolina doesn't say anything in her book that I've been reading, and there isn't really anything in my book on Numenera. There could be something in the books we got from Connie, but otherwise, I've never heard of anybody that can. I've heard of clumsy people, but this is different. I keep him away from all your good stuff. Honestly.
Do you think we need to have a word with George and Matilda? Considering their livelihood is based upon selling goods.
It might be worth it. I don't want to get into trouble though.
It
That's
might come
not his
off a
fault,
bit.
he's just a child.
Exactly. Maybe we can just buy him some gloves. Some really good gloves, at least for a start.
But then you'd have to make him wear them, and it's hot out here, isn't it? It's warm.
Yeah, we are in proper desert now. It is dry, and the wind blows, and it doesn't cool you down.
Let's protect our items, that's for sure. Maybe, I mean, Letty, you seem to be chatting with him a bit more. Maybe I can have a chat with Matilda at some point if you can provide me any sort of way to focus it.
Sure, I'll have a chat with him. He's a nice kid. I can see if he remembers where he grew up before he was with the caravan. I don't want to press the issue too much because
No, don't
kids
stress.
that age
Yeah.
Don't like to remember things that aren't happy necessarily.
It could just be something that he's been born with, and he's always done it. If we can try and, I don't know, it's not something he's going to want.
I don't
know.
know.
It could be
might
pretty
a-
useful.
Yes.
When my powers started manifesting, they were an absolute pain in the ass. I'll tell you that now. Somebody who can't control the fact they can control gravity is not necessarily the best person to be around.
You must have been bouncing around everywhere.
Getting stuck on ceilings. Difficult sometimes. Yeah, it might be something he can focus in time.
Well,
Okay, well-
I'll leave it in your capable hands, Letty.
If there's anything I can help with, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, gloves or chop his hands off is the only thing I can think of, and that's not really something we should do.
We could.
Chop his
No.
hands off.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think the problem
No.
is that big.
no.
Or no. Doesn't matter. I'll leave this in your capable hands and just see if he knows where it's come from. I was just going to say, if
If we do want to chop his hands off,
no, I'm not going to chop his hands off. I was more thinking if we ever came across, big scary monster kind of thing, and throw him at it,
that's what I was thinking.
and
I
then
think
he'll
it's
touch it and
very
it'll go off.
useful.
Yeah, but using a small child as a weapon, I don't think it's hostile.
I was going to offer you a bigger shovel to dig yourself into
Yeah,
the
I
hole
don't
that
think-
you're
but I
in,
don't
but
think it's our
I don't think you
style.
need one.
I'm just saying.
Let me just
something we
be
won't
clear. We are not chopping hands off.
No.
We are not throwing
No.
children at
No.
monsters or
Who would
machines
do
or
that?
anything else, only for fun.
We would.
I mean,
It wouldn't be for
only
fun, it would
throwing
be for
them fun,
science.
not at machines.
That's
No,
completely
not
different.
even for science. Let's just be mindful that this is a young boy who obviously has been through a lot in his life. Let's just,
He might enjoy it.
let's chat to them.
Yeah, at least wait until he's 10 years old. That's when I started thieving.
Okay, let's
He's somewhere
let's just
around
take this.
12, 13.
Oh, sorry. At least wait until he's...
He's plenty old enough.
To be
Let's
thrown.
just shelve this conversation for after Ondara, shall we?
Okay.
No throwing him at the Dream Titans.
Ooh.
Right, I'll chat to Marin tomorrow night, and maybe we can have a chat with Matilda day after.
Excellent.
I like.
The following night. There's no more people here. There we are. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Marin. Sit down here, would you? I want to ask you a couple of things. We've been noticing, and this isn't something that is your fault or anything that you've done. But it seems you know what I can do, and she sort of gestures and the deck of cards that she's been playing with the kids. A couple of cards float up, and it's like, I can do this sort of thing. Started manifesting for me when I was about 7, 8 years old. I started to get sort of known for having these abilities, and that was the sort of time that people started noticing that I was doing things like this. And it seems to me we've noticed that a few things around camp that otherwise electronic things, ciphers, oddities, are sometimes changed a little bit when you touch them. I was just wondering, my dear fellow, do you remember anything before you joined the caravan at all? I know you're here with your mum and your dad now. I was just wondering, do you remember where you came from at all? I just wondering if this is a talent that you have, or what kind of talent it might have, or if you know anything about it.
Yeah, so Merrin will kind of talk a little bit about, basically the similar stuff that Matilda mentioned, just streets for as long as he could remember. He was, young, like first memories, young, still streets, no parents, gangs of kids around, the whole shebang. Mentions that hadn't actually seen any of this kind of magic Numenera stuff until Matilda and that lot kind of took him along and brought him along. So he's still not very comfortable with it. He's not like he can deal with it now, but you probably wouldn't touch any of it by choice.
Actively seek it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you've not noticed that you're doing anything like this? Interesting. Thank you for talking to me about this.
Should I be?
I don't know. When I was a kid, I was getting stuck all kinds of places. I was, playing ball with a friend, and I'd throw a ball, and it would just keep going, and we'd lose it, and we'd never see it again. No one would ever see it again. It's a bit of a problem, but you can see the stuff I can do now. If this is something you're interested in, learning how to control or learning how to develop, there are ways to do that.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of work.
The thing is, all the good things in life are a bit of work. There's no such thing as an easy ride, and I'm telling you this as someone who has gone for an easy ride for a lot of her life.
I mean, it's pretty easy at the moment.
Yeah. If you're happy with that, you're happy with that. I'm not saying that you need to seek out a busy life. A simple life is great. Sometimes I wish I had a simple life, but I've not. That's not the path I've chosen. But if this is something you want to sort of learn how to not do as well, that'll take a bit of work, but it might make your life easier down the road.
Could you teach me?
I don't know. I can try. I can pass on what my teacher taught me.
Even if it's just to stop it.
Even if it's just to stop it. That's lesson number 1. She was sick of fishing me out of the thatches.
I smile at that, and he furrows his brow.
Alright. There's only so long. We're gonna have to tell your mum and dad at some point. Because obviously you're selling this stuff, and if it breaks, eventually someone's gonna realise, like we've potentially realised, that it's your hands that are doing it. And it's no fault of your own. It's not something you're doing by choice. But it might be worth helping your mum and dad's livelihood and helping them understand what you're going through if we have a chat with them. Are you alright with that?
Can we wait until I've practiced a bit?
Okay. I'll talk to Kliji before I promise you that. But that's definitely my priority, alright?
Okay.
Okay. Fist bump.
Fist bump.
She pulls the shit out from behind his ear and hands it to her.
He takes it and starts flipping it and trying to stop it in the air. But yeah, pokes at the fire a bit more and kind of, a kid who doesn't really know what to do and just thinking and doing something in the meantime. Poking at the fire, kicking the dirt.
Is there anything I can see about him that would give me a clue about what this talent is before I start embarking on a career as a teacher?
Well, the way I've set this up, you can't do any rolls to figure this out. You're going to have to figure this out.
Okay.
You're going to have to do experiments. You're going to have to see what happens.
All right, boss.
How'd it go?
All right. He's asked to keep it on the down low for now with his mum and dad for a little bit. He's asked me if I'll help him learn how to control it. As a nano who's sort of gone through similar stuff. Is that wise, do you think?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that can only help him and everybody else.
Yeah.
Control
I think-
is, the first stage. And if we do need to fashion some kind of gloves that can protect him or protect everything else, then I'm sure I can help do that.
I've got no idea how it works for now, so we'll start small. See
Yeah,
where we
no,
go.
I think we don't need to. I mean, if he doesn't want his parents told, we'll hold on to that for now. Yeah, you see how you can help him. And I guess, I mean, if we're going to start experimenting, and I look at both Trenton and Mazio at this point, we will tell the parents first, okay? Literally nothing from my
Well,
view. I'm
Yeah,
worried about
Mazia says nothing.
We can
Let me make that more firm.
do
We are not doing any
observational-
experiments until the parents are aware. But yes, yeah, see how you can help him. It's he's obviously had a traumatic childhood, and that can have a great effect on you. So yes, do your best for him, Letty.
Damn.
Damn.
Mizia, after she'll just wait until everyone goes. She just says, if you need a hand, I've trained some of the apprentices before. They're tended to be slightly older than him, 15, 16, but if you can't get anything out of him, I have some ways.
That's so sinister.
Sure. I'm sure we've all got different expertise, and I'm sure, you've got your monk stuff. That's discipline, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I turned
you're a
out fine.
Yeah. You're a disciplined person, focused.
Even she'll laugh at that.
Oh, Mazia, if you got some time over the next couple of days, I've got Alia to make us up a map of the steadfast, of the area around Scorpion's Reach.
Ooh. And you can mark
so-
on the areas that the thing is
Yeah.
not, yes?
I can start filling some of those out. We can have a chat.
That'd be good. That's definitely, yeah. I want to know. Where did they
Yeah.
hide it?
Me too.
Good.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, so evening spent chatting with Merrin, marking on this map.
Hiding from
figuring
Clegy.
stuff out. Hiding from Clegy.
Hiding from Clegy without making it look like we're hiding from Clegy.
Mm.
Roll for
Yes.
perception.
It's player versus player. Agree between yourselves.
It's fine. You just make Philo make something really tasty for me, and I'll be distracted, won't I? It's not hard. It's like, oh, bonbons, and I'll be like, oh yes, and that'll be it. Chatting away to Philo for the next 2 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, Letty's spending half an hour every day, like, using a hedge magic to help Philo with the cooking.
Nice. Okay. So, if there's not much else we want to do on the road, is there anything else we
Can
want to
I
do?
craft? Is there enough time to craft again? I don't know how long it is to Andorra.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. How many ciphers is everyone holding?
Ooh,
I've
good
got
question.
4 because I can hold 4 now.
I've got 2, but I can now hold another one. And there is 1, 2, 4 in the bag.
Did anybody want the injector or the small metallic disc? By the way,
What did the small metallic disc do?
Makes you feel good when you put
Makes
the
you
map
feel
side to your
good.
head. The injector was like steroids, wasn't it?
Yes.
Improve
So
musculature, maybe.
the injector gives you an extra edge in speed, and the thing that the little disc makes you feel good, which is very distracting. Kind of distracts someone for I think it's an hour.
Okay.
It's like a very pleasant chloroform.
Okay. An artifact counts towards a cipher
No.
limit, doesn't it? It doesn't. Okay.
Doesn't.
Then I currently only have 1 cipher, and then the broken one, the one that Marion just broke. So I only have 1 working cipher. So if anybody needs to give in to me, then I can.
Well, do you want to take the injector
Yeah,
or the
sure.
small metal disc?
I'll
And
take the
then I
small
can
metal
hold-
disc.
Yeah. And then I can hold one more, so I can craft one more.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's figure out what you can build from the stuff you've got. I'm gonna make you roll on tables for this, in this case.
Okay.
Because you've just bought a load of random parts and you're putting them together. So we'll see. So 20 and 100. You know the drill by now.
5 for the 20.
I love this bit.
And 19 for the 100.
19.
That's a good face.
Yeah.
It's not a good face. Is it a good face?
This is a dimensional trap. One creature or object within immediate range disappears and is drawn into the device where it remains for 28 hours. When the effect ends, the target reappears in an open space chosen by the user of the device within immediate range.
Got a Pokeball. You built a Pokeball
Yeah.
with a box of scraps in a cave.
So yeah, apparently one of these ciphers was multi-dimensional, and you managed to get the little crystal that powered it, the extra dimensional space in the crystal, and wire it up. This complex device. It's a pyramid thing where the sides fold out at the top, and that kind of releases the crystal, which sucks in the thing, and then it all shuts back up again.
That's so cool.
Very Ghostbusters trap. What level is that, please?
Roll me a d6.
Oh, come on, I haven't got a D6. Can somebody roll me a D6,
sorry.
please?
You going? Yeah. I mean, I've got one.
Nope, too late.
Okay.
5.
It's a level 9.
Ooh.
Whoa!
It was a minimum level of 5.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Machi.
I might say you can only make one more cipher out of the parts you've bought, because that's very, very good.
Fair enough.
That's
you-
very good.
Told us that you're making these and what you've made.
I would have told you what I've made. You see, it's all philo, you see. Keeps me well fed. I'm not worrying about anybody else because we're pretty much on the journey. So, I figure they can't get in that much trouble. So I've got time to concentrate for once. But yeah, I will be like, I've made this. Yeah.
You are
Nice.
very, very good at this. I'm very impressed. What are you going to call
You.
it?
Bob.
You could name it after Philo.
I could.
Philo trap.
A feel. Oh, field trap. Maybe. But yes. Well, it's a bit of a surprise to me, really. I mean, I did have some training before I came here, but never made anything this level before.
You're getting very good. I'm a little bit jealous, I have to say. Very impressed. I've made this, and I'm gonna try my latest attempt at a repeat. It won't have any darts in it at the moment. I'll just see if the mechanism works. See if my dart thrower has a magazine that works. Because it's jammed a few times.
Yeah, give me a roll. Give me a crafting roll. And we'll see how well this goes.
17.
17.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. So you say, I do this. And you accidentally pull the trigger. You can shoot 2 in quick succession. So you'll be able to make 2 light attacks in a turn now.
Awesome. Is it
Very
still a
nice.
light? Yeah, it is still.
They're still light attacks, yes. But they are separate
Wow.
attacks in terms of like armor and rolls. So, but yeah,
That's incredible. Actually, I feel like I should have been doing something more useful with my time now.
Oh no, yours is magnificent. Do you know? I happily swap as long as I get to name it and put it in my book.
I mean, I very much appreciate the offer, but I do tend to use my Verid more than anything else. So
Okay.
Cleege's going to slightly slope off after that. Feel a bit awkward.
Cool.
okay.
I think I'm done. When I finish my my book by Professor Doctor Blessed Bob Letter, I see if anybody wants to borrow it because it's very, very good. If they don't, no one can carry on.
What's the title?
My Life, an Oddity.
No.
Oh,
Nazir probably isn't too into books.
Okay, fair enough.
Letty loves a good book.
This is very much a self-promotional autobiography.
Letty loves a good book. That is not a good book.
We left that part unsaid for a reason.
She does have a book of very bad poetry that she's been enjoying. So
That's fair. Okay, so the weeks pass slowly because the desert is getting deep. It's getting trudgy. The carts are floating for a good reason, but the Caliptor pulling them are getting bogged down in the sand no matter what. It's a difficult bit of the journey, this. You're trudging and trudging, and it's hot, and you've got water and you've got food, but there's just no break from the heat until the nights where it's cold as hell. It is, freezing at night, boiling in the day. It is a difficult journey. And so there is a great relief when you crest the latest dune and you see far, far in the distance pyramids. These, you can't quite tell how far they are, but they are definitely huge. Kind of 3-sided pyramids, it looks like. And the next day when you look at them again, they've moved. And as you get closer and closer, they reveal themselves slowly. You see the trail behind them, and you see the patterns in them, and you see the legs underneath as you get closer. And you eventually get to see the Dream Titans themselves in all their glory. Just find the right button. There they are. These pyramids of stone, scuttling legs underneath, they're not so scuttly when you get closer, because even the legs are taller than like some of the buildings you've seen. These are unbelievably massive. It is an incredible sight. And in the far distance behind them, Matilda has a spyglass and passes it around. You can see the town of Numenera being dragged, the whole town, on a pallet of, like, a huge pallet, being dragged on sleds behind the Dream Titans. Matilda.
Sorry, packed up, or like the whole town is just literally in riding it, so to speak?
Packed up, definitely. Okay. The town has been packed up. You can see through the spyglass, like shuttered up and closed. But it is a whole town, like full buildings, facades. It's much more than kind of Yoshul was in terms of tents. Like, it is a proper town. You can even see some buildings that might even have a stone facade. It's a pretty little town. It's just closed up and things piled on it for the moment, as the townspeople rest for the night. Matilda says to you all, right, we need to be in and out as quickly as possible. Ideally, we don't get seen. Hopefully, I've got the right angle for that. You're approaching from kind of an oblique angle, so hopefully you'll be hidden by the Dream Titans. And if I've timed it right, they should be setting down pretty soon, which means that the town will be preoccupied unpacking, and we can nip in and out and just get a couple of tubs and sell it on later.
Couple of tubs of
whatever they're producing.
Stew.
I've heard that it can be made into an elixir that extends your life. But I am not an alchemist, so I will be selling it to an alchemist. There'll be plenty in Key who'll want some of this.
Have you done this before?
Nope.
So, is it wet, slimy, hard? I mean,
from what I've heard about it, it's kind of gooey. It's kind of like a honey in texture.
oh, okay.
I've got some of these, and reaches in and a couple of kind of synth tubs, with flexible synth lids. These apparently are pretty inert and won't react with much, so hopefully they'll be able to hold it. We'll see.
Wait, well, should we just wait here for you to come back?
You're coming with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in good company. I will have you know that I have stolen many a fine thing in my time. I will be glad to assist you in this endeavour.
I
What?
know not what you're talking about, Leslie. What do you mean you've stolen many a thing? Certainly not in the past few months, I hope.
Certainly not. No, I've been very good. I'm reformed. You know that about
Indeed.
Hmm.
Yes.
She bought me this bracelet. Look, PJ. Isn't it lovely?
Mazia
Yes.
probably realizes now that it in fact was stolen, which she just hadn't thought about it.
Okay, so we go in and scrape it up. That's it.
Up before the dawn, in and out before they wake up.
Okay.
So yeah,
If it's less valuable, they'll have guards, won't they?
well, that's why we're getting them while they're moving. Hopefully, they won't. We'll see.
You're very industrious in your methods, Matilda, I have to say.
I've had this one planned for a little while, since I heard about Numenera. Yeah, there's been a while in the planning this, so I think I've timed it right. I don't think we've delayed too much. We should be good.
Let's go get some
Right then.
Titan goo. Never thought I'd say that.
Let's get some Titan goo. Well, actually, first, night's sleep, so we can actually get up and do it in the morning.
Okay.
So yes, the night is spent, a short night's sleep, spent with the campfire going, the behind a dune, blocking the view to Numenera and the Titans, and hopefully you'll be able to get in and out. The morning comes. The wind is blowing quite heavily actually now. This whipping up the sand. Sorry, I've got to find my bloody wind sound. I had it here. There we go. Yes, the wind whipping up the sand, starting to make a bit of a movement. Roads, as you're all preparing to go, you're all going on foot, leaving the carts behind, going, grabbing, going. Nice and simple. As you're all packing up ready to go, Roads, ding, 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 on the gems on the side of the cart. Dim, dim. Do you happen to know what the big one in the middle is? And Matilda, eyes wide. That's bad news. Right, plan's buggered. Right, we've got an iron wind coming in.
Iron
Oh shit.
Yeah. Right, I've gone your accent.
Yeah.
We need to be... I don't know what we need to be doing.
Sounds like we need to be not here.
What's an iron wind, and how do we protect against it?
Your iron wind is it's a wind, and she starts scanning the horizon, takes out the spyglass and scanning the horizon. There, passes it to you and points out the area, and you can see this gale blowing, this kicking up the sand, this almost tornado-like structure. The wind blowing up, and you can see the trail being left behind it is ridiculous. It is plant matter, it's metal, it's glass, it's flesh, it's sand, it's water, it's rewriting the molecular level as it touches stuff.
Okay, that looks bad. What will protect us?
I wasn't really planning on seeing any iron wind. Shit.
Is it
Matilda's
definitely
going into a
coming
panic.
at us?
It looks like it is. Matilda's going into a panic, like she's shutting down, and Jordan, the others are, yeah.
Are the Dream Titans affected by the iron wind?
I don't see why they wouldn't be.
If they were, wouldn't they have been changed by now?
Maybe
Over many centuries, could we get into the lee of a Dream Titan?
we could try.
Yes. I think it's the nearest thing I see. I assume that's the nearest thing I see.
Yeah, there's dunes, there's Dream Titans.
Yeah. They're big. Let's just go Dream Titans.
Okay. Right. Roads, let's and yeah, the camp like scurries into activity, picking up everything you had overnight, packing away tents, throwing things in the cart. I would like everyone to help with this, making me speed my or intellect and tell me how you're helping with this.
Are we going under the Dream Titans?
Depends what we find when we get there. We need to get closer to them to see, don't we?
Okay.
Let's not discuss this. Let's just move.
I think as Letty sort of dashes back to the cart, things start tumbling towards the cart as if like pulled downwards, as if they're falling like down a wall. So like everything starts shifting towards using her hedge magic, just pulling things closer so that people can start like loading things without having to run to grab them.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me an intellect roll for that.
Cool. That's a 9.
Okay. I'm just going to record these down for now.
I'm skilled in planning and organizing, so I will try and figure out, do a little bit of direction to make it just slightly more efficient. You know, if one person is packing up the tents, I make sure that the person that's packing up the tents, I make sure that they are the ones that's telling everybody how to do it best.
Yes, you're taking Matilda's role as organizer and
crazy.
in charge.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, give me an intellect roll. That definitely sounds like intellect to me.
Great. That's only a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll leave that.
Okay.
Mazia, we've been traveling around with these people for for how long? Like at least a month, or how long is a month in here?
We're going to just use our normal calendar because
Well, so we've been
too
traveling
much
with them
fact.
at least 2-3 months now.
Something like that, yeah.
Mazia has spent some time sort of observing the people. She knows who the slow people are at packing. She knows who the Trentons of the group basically are. She knows exactly who is spending time like folding their t-shirts, and she is gonna tread straight to there and just get all of their stuff and just put it all in a box. It is not neatly done, but it is very, very quick.
Yeah, give me a speed roll, I think, for that.
Okay. The rolls are not. Can I push this? Like, can I spend?
You can
effort?
spend an XP to re-roll it, if you've already rolled it, you can't spend effort after the fact.
No, but can I put effort in now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I will spend some effort because we haven't rolled too well so far.
I get a free level of effort. I forgot to. Sorry.
I will record that.
I got a natural one.
Okay, very nice.
Oh, we're doing
I'm
great.
helping.
Very nice.
Just running around the
Squeegee.
camp haranguing people. Faster!
I'm not helping.
It could be that you've gone to the same place that I'm directing, so I'm directing them to do it really neat, and they're just really confused.
Yeah.
Too many cooks. Too
Yeah,
many
exactly.
cooks.
I'm gonna bank that GM intrusion for next week.
Do it faster, do it neater, do it neater.
I think Fiji is going to A, try and exude calm, but B, try and work out exactly which direction we need to go in, like plot the course, trying to bear in mind where that wind is coming from, where the Titans are, and where we are. So, like, I guess I'm triangulating, aren't I? Literally triangulating, in fact.
Yeah, this is very important. I'm glad somebody did it.
I think you're probably more glad that I didn't do it with my natural one.
Honestly, intellect.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I've still got my flex skill of perception because I still haven't changed it this week, apparently. Will
Yeah.
that help?
Yeah, I think so. Watching the direction this is going, trying to plot.
I'm going to put 2 levels of effort in as well.
Okay.
So it's a 3.
Okay. 3.
Can I give you an XP to re-roll that?
No, I'll use my own XP actually.
Okay.
I will re-roll that. Actually, can I do instead, rather than using XP, can I do late inspiration?
Yes, so I will say that by the time you've figured out you've got something wrong, the camp has packed up and the caravan has started moving, trudging fairly slowly still, but Rhodes is pushing the Calyptor on and on and on.
Okay. Okay. So then it's a 12.
And
Plus
you,
I get an extra asset
an
because
extra
I
asset.
late inspire.
yeah, so you realise your mistake, and you're sat up front with Rhodes and point the other direction, make the change, trying to get the right angle. You get some cover from this iron wind, and as this wind bears down on you, and you're racing it to the Dream Titans, we're gonna stop for this week and pick it up next week.
Terrible.
I know.
You're gonna get exfoliated to the extreme.
I'll be perfectly honest, that was not what I thought you were going to do, but it's great. I had my solution, which I'm not going to tell you because it still may be useful, but yeah, that's what I love about games like this. I present you with a problem, and you find a solution.
Duck under the thing with a million legs.
Yep. We
It's an
definitely
option.
won't get
What?
crushed or anything.
It's an option.
I'd like to also point out that Hermit and Squirm have come up with a fully working child catapult by the sounds of it, so well done them.
Oh, I like it.
Just like when Letty was a child.
Anybody
Right.
watching on YouTube, tune in to Twitch, for, otherwise you miss this.
Oh my god,
gems.
this is very involved. Oh, this goes.
Can we use this?
I'm
Yes.
saying no.
Can we just throw Marin at all problems and see if it works?
I need to stop putting like children in my games. Like,
We haven't done anything bad to any of them.
Well, no, because the issue is if you stop
apart from
putting
one big
children in,
flattened.
we'll stop having like the issue. Like the issue is we can't use a child because you know that's bad. If you put an adult in, there's nothing to stop us.
yeah, but I wouldn't feel so guilty.
This is very much the Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z approach to child rearing. God.
Yeah.
Throw the child.
Yeet!
This is how you teach a child to dodge. Throw it. Throw it at stuff.
Right. That's us done for the week.
It's done.
Next week we will be returning as the Iron Wind. I think we just got to the title. Yes, Desert Winds. We just got the title in at the very end.
Nailed it.
But yes, next week we will be thundering towards the Dream Titans, being chased by the Iron Wind. This all-consuming wind that changes things at the molecular level. It is rare, but it is very dangerous. I've got a wonderful table if it hits any of you.
Oh no.
Right. You love a table.
I do love a table.
Do we have a spare character ready, just in case?
It probably won't kill you.
I've already got a passenger.
Aw.
I don't have any more weird stuff going on.
Anyway, that is us done for this week. So if you enjoyed our particular brand of chaos, yes, those words again, come and join us in the Discord. We've got various games going on. There's a Legend of the Five Rings that was organised recently. There's a couple of other bits and pieces which are being organised. There's always something going on. And even if there isn't, just come and chat to us. We're a lovely bunch and we will chat about pretty much anything. We chat a lot of shit in there. Is there anything else I need to do? Come and watch more games with us. Friday is The Benefactor, as per usual, and Sunday is Lancer. We are careening towards an ending on Lancer. We've just prevented the whole planet from being nuked. That was fun. Yes, we've averted the cataclysm arc, I think Simon called it. So luckily we're not doing that. We'll see how it all ends. but it at least won't end with the destruction of a planet. Probably.
Or will it?
Or will it?
Tune in to find out.
Tune in to find out. We've got, I think, we just did episode 9, so we've got 3 sessions left. Yeah. I can't think of anything else to say in this, so I think I'm just going to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.